What's up, everybody? The world's a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown. I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast, and it is a Wednesday, the 13th of May, 2026. And we're here to talk about baseball. We usually do this on late Sunday into early Monday. Had to switch it to the middle part of the week, and now we're here to do what we love to do, talk about the amazing sport of baseball. It's officially the quarter mark of the baseball season already. And you know, Alex Reeves is here to talk all about it with me. What's up, Alex? Can you believe that? We're already a quarter of the way this season.
That's crazy, dude. I can't believe that. That's wild. It's time's flying and the season is ripping on. It's been a good couple weeks. The Yankees, though, are in a tough skid recently, but it's good to be back talking ball with you, bro. And, I apologize again for the schedule change, but I'm glad we were able to make this work.
Oh, man, no problem at all, man. It happens.
Oh,
God
yeah.
knows I've definitely had to do it, so it's all good. But we're here. The audience is here with us, and we're about to have a good ass time. And before we do that, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding this show across all social media platforms or on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter Prod Couple Pod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations and Facebook at Productive Conversations. Excuse me. And as always, don't forget to check us out on all podcasted platforms and YouTube. So, where do we begin? As we hit the first quarter of the season, we're starting to see a little bit of who are the good teams, who are the bad teams, and who are in the middle. You know what they say, Alec? Every team's going to win 60 games. Every team's going to lose 60 games. It's
Yes,
just you in
sir.
that middle part. And we got a good perspective going. And I'm excited, especially now that we're getting real solid baseball weather. And don't forget, you and
Mm.
me, Yankee Stadium this year too, on
Yeah, we
top
got
of
a
all of this
date.
stuff.
We got a hot date with Yankee Stadium, Matt. Me and you, baby. Come on.
Hell yeah. But how are we
I can't
feeling
wait.
in general as we head into this part of the season? And Memorial Day is already
Yeah.
next weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, Yankees. I mean, at least speaking in terms of just the
Two
Yankees,
weekends, by the
they
way.
what is it?
It's 2 weekends, by the way. Memorial Day weekend's 2 weekends.
Oh yeah, 2 weeks away from Memorial Day. It's crazy. I mean, the season, like you said, is flying by. We're already a quarter of the way through the year. We've seen enough baseball now where we can accurately sort of judge how good or bad certain teams are. But obviously, it's not a full reflection of the season. But quarter of the way in, that's a big sample size. So we're starting to see how these divisions are shaping out and how teams are looking. And, speaking in terms of the Yankees, I would say the hot start has kind of cooled down a little bit recently with the 4 losses in a row. They got swept by the Brewers,
Whack.
which was tough. But, all in all, we kind of expect this. The Yankees have had some really bad luck with injuries lately, too, with Dominguez
Volpe's
going
coming back.
down. Yeah, Volpe's back, but Dominguez going down. Ryan Weathers was out sick. He threw up. I think he lost like 8 or 9 pounds in a day
Yeah.
or something. Um, Caballero's hurt. So we've had, Ben Rice got hurt last week. We've had a lot of injuries recently that have kind of come about, and that's coincided with them losing a few games in a row. So in terms of Yankees world, things have been cooling off a little bit recently. With that being said, the American League is still ours to lose. The Yankees and the Rays right now are the only teams, Matt, in the American League that have records above 500. Can you believe that? Last I checked, it could have changed today because I know there was a few teams that were near 500, but as of today, last I checked, the Yankees and the Rays, I'll say that again, the Yankees and the Rays are the only teams. Oh, nope, the Guardians. Fuck. The Guardians and the A's are above 500, barely. But the Yankees and the Rays are the only teams at least two games over 500.
Hmm.
And that's crazy. I mean, the Yankees and the Rays, bro, they're both at 27 wins.
And
And
that's the
the
one Achilles heel. We've never been able to get over the hump against the Rays since like Since at
Bro,
least the pandemic season, and maybe this is our time to finally overcome that. And I
this
believe they come to Yankee Stadium this week too, or I should say
bro,
next week.
this is 100% our time because the Rays are playing way above their punching grade, their pay grade right now. The Rays, in a way, have gotten extremely lucky. They're not scoring a ton of runs per game, and their offense isn't really that scary. They've kind of had some luck involved. They have a 20 plus 23 run differential, which is decent. Yankees have a plus 76 run differential. But yeah, I mean the American League is certainly the Yankees to lose at this point. Things can change quick, as we know, but looking at the standings, the Rays and the Yankees are leading the American League by quite a few games. So it's good to see. It is interesting to see some teams struggling so far. The Seattle has had it tough. Toronto has had a tough skid. So be interesting to see how those teams shape up. But the National League has been playing way better. The American League has just been shit.
Mm-hmm. Seems that way, man, but that's what's great about baseball. Still a lot of season left. Anything can happen, but we're going to enjoy every little bit of it. So let's start our segments. Let's have some fun. Let's have a productive conversation of what's going on in baseball right now. And good thing with the Yankees, too, did win on Tuesday night, got back in the groove, and that's what we need to stop that 4-game skid. And hey, Ryan Withers threw what? He took a perfect game into the 6th inning or 7th
Yeah,
inning.
and they lost,
So
right?
yeah, they turn into give up their hit, then a hit turns to a 3-run bomb, and then they lose. But back in their winning ways, heading into Thursday night. So sorry,
The
heading into Wednesday night with the win on Tuesday.
I read something. It says that the Yankees gave up a 3-run homer to Kobe Mayo and lost 3-2. The Orioles only had 3 hits all night. So the Yankees lost a game where they only gave up 3 hits, and that's baseball, as the late great John Sterling would say. That's baseball, Susan. All right.
Yeah, exactly, man. And we will definitely talk about the great John Sterling towards the end of the show. All right, Mr. Reeves, let's begin. Let's do our show. All right, here we go, brother. So, as I pull up my show sheet, ba 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 ba. All right, let's do it, y'all. Sorry. All right, just one second. You know, the biggest off-field story in baseball just got real, Alec. Owners and players officially sat down for the first time to begin collective bargaining agreement negotiations, and a potential work stoppage is on the horizon.
Huh.
We might not have baseball next year, which has been discussed for a few years now, but we knew this coming into the season. But now they finally met up, and both sides said, "Whoa, so what's good? Walk
Yeah.
up, pull up." This is what they said, right? The current collective bargaining agreement expires on December 1st, 2026. The first session lasted about 2 hours and included initial presentations from each side. No formal proposals were made yet. At the center of the talks is a salary cap, which owners are pushing hard for. Players have long considered this a non-starter. The CBA expired at 11:59 p.m. on December 1st, and a lockout is widely expected, which would shut down free agency, shut down trades, and the real drop-dead date is early to mid-March 2027, when regular season games would be at risk for next
Right.
year.
Right.
The Dodgers shattered MLB spending records, a combined $515 million in payroll and luxury tax last year en route to back-to-back World Series titles. They're projected to be the highest total payroll again in 2026. That right there is what the owners are arguing for. play the higher market teams spending way too much and making it less competitive for the smaller teams, right?
Right.
The player's lead negotiator, his name is Bruce Meyer with the MLB Players Association. The league's lead negotiator, who represents the owners, his name is Dan Halem. The player executive committee includes names like Paul Skeens, Tariq Skubal, Chris Bassett, and Marcus Simeon. But yeah, bro, this is getting real. They have to come up with a deal, Alec. Baseball is really, really on the rise on a popularity standpoint. Review ratings are great. People are actually showing up to these games, and I really do think more people will show up to baseball games, especially as we head into the summer months. People really are starting to know these players. The World Baseball Classic was such a success. And these players, not only these judges and Otanis of the world, but other ones, Skeens is getting more popular. People like PCA and stuff like that. Baseball cannot be its own worst enemy and stop, especially in a world where we're easily distracted by other things and other sports being around. But
Mm-hmm.
baseball can't stop. They have to come up with something. I am usually more player side on this type of stuff. Salary cap is definitely anti-traditional. I hear the other sides of it, but you could also come at the other teams that don't spend. Like, what are they doing? But bro, they have to figure something out. These meetings need to be productive. They have to get a deal by December 1st
Yeah,
so that
this
we have
is
baseball next year and years to come.
it's extremely important that they do come to some sort of agreement here so we can play baseball next spring. I agree completely. It's massive, with all the good momentum that this sport has garnered over the last couple of years, and viewership numbers are up, and I think popularity for the game has grown with some of the recent changes to the game. Some of those being the pitch clock, things, just small changes to the game, and now we got the ABS system. So, yeah, I think the game is at a great spot right now, and it would really suck if there was a lockout next year. But if I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but the MLB is the only league that doesn't really have a hard cap, right? Like for salary.
No hard cap in the NBA, NFL, and NHL. The
So,
NHL fought of this back in the mid 2000s, and they did wind up getting a salary cap. But yeah, out of the four major league sports, no salary cap in baseball.
so the argument is between the MLBPA, which is the MLB Players Association, and then the owners um, as to the cap, right? I mean, the players obviously they don't want um, they don't want a hard cap because it limits their earning potential. But the owners would like that. That way, it's a little bit more fair. So, I got to read more into this, some of the details as to like what needs to be negotiated. But I know that's a major part of it is like the salary cap, and I don't remember when the last time there was a lockout in the MLB. I think it was like 2021, right?
Yeah, and it was
They
2021, and
delayed
they
it.
just um they did miss out basically on spring training, and deals were made late, but they did make a
Yeah.
deal, and they had their season, albeit it was a delayed one by like a week or two, but that was it.
Right, right, which is still significant though. I mean, that fucks everything up for a little bit, and it makes the season a lot harder, and it's tough on the fans because we don't know what's going on, we don't know what to expect. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that you want the best for the game going forward. You want the best for both the players and the owners, and just to grow the game and continue to have a good league. But you also don't want to see things like the Dodgers and these big teams, and we're Yankees fans and we're spoiled. We always have a lot of money to spend, but
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to be able to see these other small market teams be able to compete and get some big free agents because, it's all about spending. But yeah,
That's what it is at the end of the day, my brother.
this is from here all the way till December, right? Which is when when the agreement needs to be in place, or when the agreement expires, I believe is December 1st, 2026. So they have until December. So, from here on out until December, we got to keep an eye on this because it's a developing story that's going to hopefully be resolved. And hopefully they'll come to some sort of agreement. I know, like, even before this season started, Matt, there was talks about a lockout. So it's something that I think baseball fans are aware of. You're just kind of hoping that they'll get it done.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're gonna have to see, my brother. Hold out hope. Hopefully, cooler heads prevail, and hopefully, they're smart enough to realize we can't stop the momentum we're having on a mainstream standpoint. And
Yeah.
once they do, hopefully, we get good news at some point this year that they made a deal and baseball will continue. But until then, let's enjoy what we have for now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about baseball's golden boy, the guy that baseball really wants us to love, and that's Shohei Ohtani. The most famous baseball player in the world has had quite an awful start to his 2026 season. So let's break it down right now. We're a quarter of the way through, and Ohtani is hitting 241 with just 6 home runs and well below his career average of 280. He had a stretch where he went 0 for 17 at the plate. His manager, Dave Roberts, kept him out of the DH spot on pitching day to give his body a break while trying to snap out of this funk. The two-way fatigue angle. Roberts acknowledged the toll, saying that, quote, with pitching, there's the day of the start, the day after you're hitting, and that takes a tax on your body. So that affects the hitting for 2 days right there. But the underlying
Yep.
numbers say relax. His expected slugging, average exit velocity, barrel rate, and hard hit rate are all still amongst the top players in baseball. With his 143 wins per runs, with his 143 WRC, he's actually comparable to his normal great numbers at 151 WRC. That's the one stat I don't know. But regardless, though,
What
he's
stat is that?
WRC plus. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah, that's the one thing these analytic guys
oh,
are
you don't know
throwing
what
their
it
bone.
means?
Or
It
what?
it, it has to do with base. It's measuring like how much runs you create on offense. So it's weighted.
Weighted runs created plus. Okay, so yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're
Wait,
good, bro. Yeah, it's some weird stat that they try to basically quantify how effective you are at like creating runs at the plate, whether it be, stealing bases, getting on base, hitting guys in. I don't know how it's calculated, but it's another one of those stats that I don't really know much about either, but
man,
it,
whatever. We'll let the nerds enjoy that shit. But regardless, though, Alec, best player in baseball, off to a rough start.
mhm. At the
What do you
plate, I
think?
will say, well, it's like you're judging him just on his hitting right now, and even those numbers aren't that bad. They're bad by his standards, yes. I mean, he's only hitting 230, like you said, 6 homers. His offensive numbers, no doubt about it. His offensive numbers are down, right? But you got to look also that his pitching numbers are insane, dude. And I think this year, I think there's a noticeable shift in Ohtani focusing more on his pitching than his hitting, which is kind of strange. It's almost like he's getting bored with winning MVPs and now he wants to win a Cy Young. Like, I think he's genuinely that good at baseball where he's just like, I want to lock in right now on pitching and not focus as much at the plate, which I don't know if that's true. That's just kind of where I'm coming from when I see his pitching stats because let me read you some of these pitching statistics, Matt. And these numbers are unreal. He is 2-2 win loss on the mound as a starter. He's 2-2 with an ERA of 0.97.
Mm.
He's got an ERA less than 1. He's thrown 37 innings on the mound this season. He's given up just 21 hits. Keep in mind, he only threw 47 innings last season because he was coming off an injury. So he's already almost at last season's total. innings, and he's given up about half as many hits in that amount of innings. So he's thrown 10 less innings than he did all of last season, and he's given up about half as many hits. So he's been absolutely unreal. In 37 innings on the mound, he's struck out 42 batters,
Mm,
and he's
all
only
right.
walked 9. So my point is, I think I agree. His offensive numbers have been terrible by his standards. You expect him to be up in the 280s, 290s, 300 plus with a lot of power, but his pitching numbers have been really, really good. Um, and that's not really that all that surprising. I mean, you look at 2022 with the Angels, he went 15-9 with a 2.3 ERA, Matt. That's Cy Young candidate numbers right there. I mean, those are really good numbers. 166 innings pitched. He struck out 220 batters. So he can be lights out on the mound. I think as much as I don't like Ohtani, and obviously he just killed us in the World Series, and I don't necessarily root for the guy, but he's unbelievable because he can pitch and he can hit. And his hitting's been down, but his pitching's been up. So I think it balances out.
Yeah, well, that's definitely not really talked about much with the pitching part, but hence why we're here having productive conversations about it. I'm sure eventually he'll figure it out. Usually the great hitters do, but
He
it's
will.
definitely interesting. And I guess because he's not hitting as hard, baseball's PR department isn't throwing that down our throats like they usually do.
Yeah, it is interesting too. I watch obviously a lot of baseball. I noticed that the Dodgers don't really start him as much. Like I feel like last year he wasn't pitching much last year, but he was in the lineup hitting leadoff every single fucking game. And now that he's starting every 5 days, he's not hitting or DHing as much, so he's not really getting as many at bats as he's used to, and that
Mhm.
might affect baseball is a sport of repetition and being hot and cold, and it's tough to get hot when you're not seeing as many at bats. So that could have something to do with it. But yeah, by his standards, I mean, 230 with 6 homers this late, quarter of the way through the year, those are not good numbers for him. If that was anybody else, you'd be like, okay, I could live with that. Like if Austin Wells was hitting 230 with 6 homers, I'd be more than happy. He's hitting about 160 with like
Austin Wells
three.
has been bad, and the
He's
Yankees'
been
success
awful.
has distracted us from that. But
Yes.
bro,
He's
Austin
been
Wells
awful.
needs to turn it up, or
Same with
JC
Jazz.
Escara.
Jazz's numbers have been pretty bad. I mean,
He avoided the media yesterday after a bad loss, and more L's and fuck ups from him. Jazz, man, that 50-50 season, it looks like it's getting farther and farther away. But bro's got to shake it off, man, or he's gonna be trade bait for somebody.
yeah. I mean, I love Jazz.
Me too, but I don't want to
I,
see him
I think
also be lazy.
his worst enemy is the fact that he does talk a little bit too much. And when you're playing in a big market city like New York, fans are gonna remember that shit. And it's just like you're kind of just setting yourself up for failure because if you do happen to have a 50-50 season, yeah, you look like a fucking like the man, but the chances of you doing that are pretty low. So I don't know. I just feel like he needs to mature and just keep his head down and work hard, man. I love his personality. I love how he plays the game, but um, it's easy to kind of become a target when you run your mouth a lot. But yeah, I mean, Jazz is hitting. I just checked. He's hitting 201.
Come
Um,
on, Jazz.
yeah, I mean that's pretty bad. He's got 4 homers, which isn't terrible, but that you would hope he'd have 8 or 9 homers by now.
To hit that 50, what is the
Uh,
rule? They say you can figure out your projection numbers by the quarter mark and you multiply that by 4.
5-4, yeah. I mean, that's that's assuming that you do
So
exactly
he's on
what you've
track
done.
for 16 home runs.
Right. I mean, at this rate, yeah, he's going to finish with about 20 homers, give or take. And Judge is going to finish with, 55, 60 homers.
You got to admit, Judge is our boy, but his average is down too. We got to be fair. He's
Yeah,
got to
but
get some
here's
more
the thing.
contact, man.
I'm not worried about that though, because here's the thing is Judge has good at bats. When you're striking out, you know, as much as Jazz and Austin Wells, that's what's frustrating. At least Judge, when he's not hitting, his strikeout numbers have gotten a lot better than earlier in his career. Um, I think it's all about you playing baseball. You got to be able to put the ball in play, Matt. Even if it's a
Mhm.
ground out or a pop out, put the ball in play. Yeah, I mean, Jazz needs to turn it up, but I think if anything, it just shows you that this Yankees team isn't playing at full throttle right now. Once guys get going and get in a groove, I think this team can be a lot better than they've been playing. So we'll see, man.
Respect. Got to get that respect. But another high profile player who's really struggling, Alec, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Last year's AL MVP runner up is having one of the worst slumps by a star player we've seen in recent memory. Raleigh hasn't had a hit since April 26th. To be fair, that did change at the time of this recording. Got his first single, was still between April 26th and May 12th. Awful, about 3 weeks without getting a hit. And in that span, he went 0 for 36. During that stretch, he struck out 14 times and drew just 3 walks. For the season, he's hitting 161 with a 538 OPS and just 3 home runs, coming off a year where he hit 60 home runs, and yes, as mentioned, went second in MVP. His manager moved him out of the 2-hole for the first time this season, dropping him to the cleanup spot. Raleigh himself said, quote, "It's been really ugly. I'm trying to do my best just to compete there." Some analysts attribute the slow start to a rough World Baseball Classic where he went 0 for 9 as the backup for Team USA, disrupting his offseason preparation. Strikeout rate has ballooned to 31.4%, the highest of his career. The great thing, Alec, about baseball is fundamentally you really can separate the good, the bad, and the great players.
Yep.
Cal Raleigh, modest career so far. Obviously, an MVP season last year, but it went to our boy Judge. But right now, bro, he's in a real mess. While he did get a hit on Tuesday night, he's still looking awful. The complete opposite of where he was last season. And that probably also contributes to the Seattle Mariners struggle. Boy, he looks really dumb not giving love to his teammate in the World Baseball Classic now. But
Yeah,
Cal
right.
Raleigh, bro, is this the real Cal Raleigh we're seeing?
I think I think yes and no. I think he definitely had like a career season last year that he'll probably never replicate again, but I think he's a better hitter than he's been playing recently. I mean, there's a reason he was obviously on like Team USA baseball. He was an all-star last year. I mean, I hope for his sake that it wasn't like a one-off year where he just played insane, but it doesn't make sense for him to be playing so bad. I was just
Maybe
looking.
the roids wore off. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Maybe the steroids wore off. I was just looking though, bro, at his stats, and it looks like I don't know. Wait, I'm looking at something else. Well, it looked like he had struck out his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. His last like 14 games in a row, he's had at least one strikeout. He struck out 54 times already this season. He's only hitting 150 something. And I think you did say he's only got 3 homers. According to my numbers, he's got 7 homers. Um, which isn't really much better, but he's hitting 157. So yeah, I mean,
it,
I think
specifically during. Hold up. Did my people mess me up?
well, he's got 7 homers on the year.
Okay, so it's 3 home runs during the span of what's going on here. Oh, well, no, that wouldn't make sense. I don't know. Maybe they just got me fucked up here. So sorry on that.
No, no, you're good, bro. I think all you were just talking about during this span, he's hit 3 dingers.
Yeah, but the what for the slow start of the season, I should say. But I apologize there. So it says here he does have 7 homers on the year.
Yeah, no, you're good, bro. I was just looking at strikeout leaders. And believe it or not, him and Aaron Judge are tied with 54 strikeouts, I believe, on the year.
Hmm.
But obviously, Judge has got like 16 home runs or something crazy. So it's not even really a comparison. Yeah. Judge and Schwarber both have 16 homers. Murakami's got 15. Matt Olson's got 14. But yeah, I think Cal Riley, really slow start. And the Mariners have been struggling as a whole. So they really need him to get going. They really do.
Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna have to see, I guess.
He's got a negative WAR right now.
Haha, loser. But
Fucking bomb.
I always thought that was a stupid nickname, the Big Dumper.
Yeah, I mean it is, but whatever. It's Seattle. What do you expect, dude? They don't have anything going for
All right.
them.
Oh well. But let's switch it up really quick. Spencer Jones, the Yankees top prospect coming into this season, finally made his Major League Baseball debut over the weekend. The most hyped Yankee prospect in years finally made it to the show. Jones was called up on May 8th after Jason Dominguez sprained his AC joint while crashing into the wall, making a catch against the Texas Rangers. He debuted as the DH, batting sixth against Milwaukee, against one of the top pitchers in Jacob Mizorowski, the hardest throwing starter in all of baseball. And Jones is wearing 78 right now. He did go hitless in 3 at bats with 2 strikeouts in his debut. The 0-3 for him against the hardest thrower in baseball isn't exactly an alarm bell. But before he got called up, his numbers were pretty solid. Batting 258, a 592 slugging, 11 homers, and 41 RBIs, leading all the minor leagues in 33 AAA games this season. Everybody is aware that Jones has a strikeout problem. 600 strikeouts and 1,800 minor league plate appearances. That is a good amount. But hey, he did get his first hit later that weekend. A little bit off to a slow start, but Spencer Jones is finally in the show. How are we feeling about him so far?
Dude, I'm excited. I'm really excited to watch him get going. And I think it's tough. It's tough for him to get his first major league at bats are against Jacob Mizorowski, who's one of the best pitchers in baseball.
That's a
It,
welcome to the show moment, I bet.
yeah, I mean that's definitely a big time. Like, welcome to the show. You're about to face a guy who's gonna throw 104 miles an hour, and his curveball. Yeah, and his curveball is like 90 miles an hour. So good luck. And it's like
Hey, that's
that's
that's what you got
tough.
to step up though, right? It's the big leagues now.
Yeah, I mean, shit, you might as well face the best to be the best. You got to beat the best. So it's nice to see him up here. I know it sucks. I'm really bummed about Dominguez. I feel really bad for him. He's had some tough injury luck.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, there's always somebody, ready to step up. That's the thing about this industry and this sport is, you get injured or you're not playing well, there's always somebody behind you ready to take your spot. And I'm not saying Spencer Jones is up here to take anybody's spot. He's filling in for now, and it's good to get him some at bats, get him some reps in center field and out in the outfield. Um, and yeah, I'm excited, man. I think he could be a great player, future, face of the franchise type of guy. I think he's got a ton of power. I don't see him hitting for a high average, but he could be like I'm trying to think of a good comparison player. Lefty with a lot of power that plays outfield that's really big. I don't know, but it,
Hmm.
it doesn't really matter in terms of
O'Neal
comparing.
Cruz, even though he's been an ass fielder this year.
Yeah, or I was thinking more like a Joey Gallo guy,
Hmm.
like
Better
a prime,
than the time in his prime, yes.
right? Like a prime, like 240 to 260 hitter who hits like 40 to 50 homers, and
Hmm.
he plays a decent outfield. Like that's a great player, bro. I think he could be that kind of guy, and he's young, he's athletic. So yeah, I'm excited, bro. I think it's definitely exciting. It is funny that it's another prototypical Yankee that's just a big power hitter that's gonna strike out a shitload. Because the Yankees never seem to raise like a Chandler Simpson, where it's like a guy who's hitting 300 and he'll just steal a shitload of bases. The Yankees never get guys
Yeah.
like that, and I'm not mad about it. But it would be nice every now and again to get just like a pure contact hitter with no power.
I'll hope the brother figures it out,
Hell yeah, he's gonna be a stud, bro.
and we will see him in pinstripes for the first time after this weekend. And we'll talk Subway Series this weekend too, and that'll be interesting to see in there. Wasn't in the
Yeah.
lineup on Tuesday, but I hope my man is ready to be a star, man. He's just as tall as Judge. He looks like Ohtani. He's got swag, and now we just need him to turn it up more on the base. Sorry, on the base path. So in that batter's box on the base path. So Spencer Jones, you my dude. You are my
The fucking
fucking
goat,
dude.
bro. He's gonna be very, very good.
Believe it. You heard it here first, folks. All right, Carlos Correa, bro. Want to talk about Carlos Correa? Unfortunately, bro suffered another injury. He suffered a complete tear of his tendon in his left. Carlos Correa, the shortstop of the Houston Astros, suffered a complete tear of his tendon in his left ankle, taking swings in the batting cages before a game against the Dodgers. He felt it popped, fell to the ground, and couldn't put weight on it. Recovery is 6 to 8 months. He was hitting 279 with 3 home runs and 16 RBIs in 32 games. Solid start to the season, but cut brutally short. The Astros have been struggling this season. They're 15 and 22 with 14 players on the IL, including Pena, Hunter Brown, Josh Hader, Yanier Diaz, Jake Myers, and more. I mean, they're a hospital ward, dude. But Correa's had this injury before. People have been worried about this ankle for a long time. Remember, the Mets were gonna bring him in and sign him, but the physical showed that he had issues with his ankle, and they didn't bring him in. One of the
Yeah.
rare times this team made a good move during the Steve Cohen era. Big except for 2024, but still. He's gonna get paid though. Still owe $30 million in 27 and $30 million in 28, with the Twins covering $10 million per year. But yeah, man, tough luck for Correa and the Astros, but we're now turning the page that era is really phasing out now. The 2017 Astros, 9 years
No.
ago, even though they're a bunch of cheaters.
I kind of forgot he was back on Houston. I was thinking that he was still in Minnesota.
Yeah, no,
But
be
honestly, I
like that.
don't I can't think of many players I hate more than Carlos Correa, so I don't give a fuck that he's injured, to be completely honest. I I don't wish injury on anyone, but I don't feel one way or another about it. It's just like, well, it's Correa. He's a known cheater. He's one of the biggest cheaters in baseball, or at least was when he got caught with Houston. And it is what it is. I mean, it's a tough blow, dude. This Houston team has been terrible to start the year, and they just lost one of their best players. I don't know how the hell that team's going to compete in the West without Correa. I feel bad for the guy in a way, but then again, it's like he was one of the faces of that cheating scandal in Houston with
Hmm.
Altuve. Um, so I can't really feel bad like I would anybody else. Yeah, I feel awful, bro. You're missing a whole season of baseball.
But it's the
And,
Astros, man, the cheating Astros.
right,
And
right.
that awful record is lovely to see. A very deserving team to be losing bad this year. Obviously, the injuries suck, but the Astros sucking is better for
Hmm.
everybody.
Yeah, looking right now, they're 10 games under 500. They're 6 games out of first. Definitely not out of it, but they haven't been. They're not the same team they used to be. They're certainly not better than the Mariners, and I think that dynasty or whatever it was is over for sure. But yeah, I mean, it sucks for him, sucks for Houston to lose such a good player, but again,
Oh well.
I don't like the guy, so whatever.
Right. All right, Alec. When you and I spoke last Sunday, things looked pretty normal. Then I woke up that Monday morning from a text from my dad that said, "Rest in peace, John Sterling." And I
Yeah.
stood there for like 20 minutes, absolutely bummed. John Sterling, the longtime radio voice of the New York Yankees, died on Monday, May 4th, at the age of 87 years old. He suffered a heart attack in January and was recuperating at his home in New Jersey. His death was announced by WFAN. John Sterling called 5,060 consecutive Yankee games from 1989 to 2019. Never missed one game for 30 years straight. Over his full career, he called 5,631 total Yankee games, 211 postseason games, and
Wow.
won 12 Sports Emmy Awards. He called every single at bat for Derek Jeter's career, and he called every single save Mariano Rivera made. And his signature calls, dude. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
The Yankees win.
And some of his classic home run calls. An A bomb from Aaron. Robbie Cano, don't you know? El Capitan. All
Right.
rise. Giancarlo. No slimo, no parlo. The list
The
goes on and on and on. And
Grandy Man can.
I love that one. Raul, so cool.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
God.
man.
He's the best, dude. He's literally the fucking best, man. The voice of the New York Yankees, one of the most instantly recognizable voices in all of sports radio. Um, he was over the top. He never shut it off. He was just always that's just how he was, man. He was just one of the last true entertainers in sports radio. And it's just so sad to see the greatest play by play guy gone. And we know his health wasn't the best, but it's just growing up, I never thought that I'd hear anybody else call a Yankees game. It
I
was
know,
always
right?
John
When I see the Yankee logo, I hear
Sterling.
his voice. My
Every time.
entire life like that, man.
Same with Shepard, bro. When back in Yes Network, remember Shepard would
Oh
be
yeah,
like
Bob Shepard.
the
Yeah, the
New
old
York,
PA voice of Yankee.
yeah, and he'd be like Derek Jeter, number two, Derek
Classic
Jeter,
chills, bro. And
Derek
he
Jeter,
he called, I believe he called Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, made it all the way till there.
yeah,
And I mean, yeah, I just growing up
Bills,
with the
bro.
Yes Network,
Hmm.
Yankeeographies, Yankee
Hmm.
classics. Like I said, John Sterling's voice will be forever in my head. Real tough blow. Really tough. I was really bummed. I genuinely was sad to see that one.
Oh, yeah, it's heartbreaking, man. The saddest thing too was something I read that said a quote from Michael Kay about Sterling that all he wanted to do was make it to his daughter's wedding this summer, and he couldn't do that. And it's just
Yeah.
heartbreaking, man. And I love John Sterling. He'll always be my favorite play-by-play guy without a doubt. I mean, he's just unbelievable, man. He was just awesome. The best voice. Him and Susan Waldman were just a great, iconic duo of like old school radio. Um, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like it's really the end of an era,
Yeah.
now that he's officially not with us anymore. But he's up there somewhere calling games. Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. I mean, come
Luckily, they're
on.
gonna play that the rest of our lives after every Yankee game, after every Yankee win. And yeah,
I
man, he literally was in that booth until he physically couldn't anymore. So I can respect
yeah.
that too.
Oh, an absolute GOAT, man. The best of the best, dude. It doesn't get any better than that. And the fact that he had these unique home run calls for every Yankee is just so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
And
man. The fan was playing a lot of them, like Rams, like Troy Tulowitzki's one home run as a Yankee. I'm trying to think of some absurd ones. Um, Not absurd, but I loved
Brian McCann,
right or geez, I'm gonna see if I can find some really quick to play. But we
Lance
always
Berkman.
love, yeah, we always loved Godzilla. I love
Oh my
that one
God,
from
yeah.
Hideki Matsui.
Yep.
Um,
Bernie, burn, baby, burn.
that was the first one that started it all.
That was like that was like one of my favorites. Robbie Cano, don't you know? An A bomb. Giancarlo, non si puede stopparlo.
And even know what is he? What even is that? What is a? To this day, I was still waiting, and he actually was the last one he called was the last home run he called was a Stanton home run in the World Series against the Dodgers. Just really quick, let's just hear a couple before we do our name that player.
Indeed, Bradley going back. He's on the track at the wall, and she is gone. That's a long way to the back end of the Boston bullpen over to into the crowd. Gio Urshela, the most happy fella. Oh, he's the most happy fella. Gio Urshela homers, and the Yankees finally have a lead. It's 1-0 Yanks.
Yeah.
His line to deep left field. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. It is a 2-run home run for Austin Romine. Over the high wall and into the monster seats. Romy, my homie. He hits a 2-run home run, and the Yankees take a 2-0 lead.
And that was a changeup from Sale, and Austin Romine really saw that from the hand. He was ready for it, which is why he was able to pull it.
Whoa, Susan, easy there.
There's a drive deep left center field. It is high. Not as far. It is gone to the back row of the monster seats. It's Glaber Day. Glaber Torres powered one into the last row of the monster seats in left center. And like a good Glaber, Torres is there, and the Yankees promptly take a 2-0 lead.
Torres
There goes to deep right field. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Second deck. Yes, indeedy. This is the dawn.
Classic, man. We could do that all podcast long.
He said, yes, indeedy.
I just remember too, anytime I went to a Yankee game, now my pops isn't a Yankee fan, he's a Met fan, but always was do right by his boy. But I always loved, hey, look over there, turn around, look at the press box as a kid. There's John Sterling. That was one of my favorite things. And I also fell for our homegirl, Susan Waldman, too. His compadre, he would call her.
Susan Waldman was a great partner for John. They were very good together, and at times I'd be like, Susan, just let John talk. But yeah, they were awesome together, man. Well, yeah, his calls are iconic and they're just fucking hilarious. I mean, really, Austin Romine, my homie.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what he even said, but dude, he's just fucking...
Romy, my homie.
Oh yeah, Romy, my homie.
Yeah, what? John Sterling, still gone too soon. We're going to miss you, brother. We really will. All right, Alec. Let's wrap this up with Name That Player. We didn't do it last week. Let's do it this week. I got you 3 players, and we are going to do easy, medium, and hard, where I give you 3 clues, and you guess the player based on those 3 clues. It was been a success. People like it. So let's continue it. You ready, Alec?
Yes, sir. I'm ready, Matt. Let's go.
All right, let's do it, my dude. Number 1, the easy player. Clue number 1. I hit one of the most famous grand slams in playoff history. And the commissioner himself had to come down and explain the rules in the mid-game for me. Wait, sorry. Clue that. Sorry. Clue number 1. I hit one of the most famous grand slams in playoff history. Clue number 2. I won 3 World Series rings, including World Series MVP. I won't say the year. Clue 3. They gave me the biggest freaking clue ever that anybody could get. I'm gonna make up a clue on the spot.
Yeah.
I infamously played for the Minnesota Twins before I went on the team I'm most known for. Who was that player?
Um. Huh. So he won 3 rings and he has a World Series MVP,
Mm-hmm.
and he played on the Twins
Mm-hmm.
before the team that he's most known for.
That's right.
Um. That's tough. I'm gonna say
Should I say the year he won the World Series MVP?
that would help. Yes.
2013.
Hmm.
We hate him, bro. As a player, he seems like a cool dude, honestly. You see him every single postseason now.
Oh, it's Big Poppy, right?
That's right. Literally gave me clue 3.
Yeah, I
David
forgot about the
Ortiz.
Twins. Yeah.
Clue 3 was his nickname is Big Poppy. Like, come on.
Right. That's too. Yeah, that's way too easy. All
But
right.
yeah, hit the
Well.
grand slam against the Tigers. Torrey Hunter falls in the
Yes. Yes.
stand. So
Right over
yeah,
the right field seats, or right over the bullpen, or whatever. It was right into the bullpen.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But yes, David Ortiz, bro, number 1. All right, number 2, medium. I won 3 batting titles and 6 Silver Slugger awards, despite being the smallest guy in the field most nights. I won the 2017 AL MVP, the same year my team won the World Series, though the titles came with an asterisk.
Oh, it's Altuve.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stolen MVP from Judge
Stolen. Yeah, stole that shit.
because he's a cheater.
He's a
You got
cheating
that.
fuck.
All right. Last one, Alec, before we say goodbye. Clue number 1. I won a Cy Young Award in 2009 with a team that lost 97 games that year.
Trevor Bauer.
No.
I'm kidding. No, he didn't win it that year.
Clue number 2. I'm known for being one of the most cerebral pitchers ever. I reportedly memorized every hitter's tendencies without coach's help. Clue number 3. I signed a 6-year deal worth $206 million in 2015, then got traded mid-contract during this time.
What year did he win the Cy Young?
09.
Oh, no.
Should I say his teams yet?
Yeah, say his teams.
Kansas City Royals, Arizona Diamondbacks, Houston Astros.
Zach Greinke.
You got it, bro.
Yes. Yep, I knew it. As soon as you said Royals, Astros, and what was the other team he played for?
Arizona Diamondbacks. I've seen him pitch
Yeah.
against the Yankees when he was a Diamondback. Funny enough, bro was a mad dominant pitcher in his time.
He was he was kind of eccentric and strange, but he was really, really
Yeah. He once
really
said,
good pitcher.
"I'd rather pitch it." What was that weird? Not that I'd rather pitch it for to nobody, but like something weird like that. Like I
Yeah,
don't want. He didn't want to go to big markets at all.
he was a weird dude, but he was really fucking good.
It's funny how that works, right?
But yeah, bro, he was nasty on the Kansas City Royals and the Diamondbacks. I mean, he had a great career.
Old school, bro. Greinke and Cole. It's somewhat bizarre they didn't win a World Series, but that rotation. But oh well.
Yeah, right. Oh well. Sorry.
Alec Reeves, you killed it as always. Thank you to everybody who tuned in on YouTube and listened on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. We'll see you back here on this feed on Friday as we do our tweet cap to talk about what's trending in sports, news, entertainment, and culture. Check out me and Fresh Faces and our discussion regarding the NBA playoffs, and check out our tweet cap from Tuesday as we talked about what was trending over the past weekend. And we're back at it next week. We're back at it late Sunday into early Monday talking baseball with Alec Reeves once again. And we are going to have a great time until then. So that's Alec Reeves. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. May you all have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon. Alec, any final words?
No, man. Always good chatting with you, man. And look forward to talking next week, brother. You have a good rest of the week, man.
Can't wait. That's the man right there. And you're all the greatest fans and listeners in the world. We love each and every single one of you. See you later. Bye-bye.